સીધા જઈશું નિર્મલા સીતારમણની પ્રેસ કોન્ફરન્સમાં જ્યાં તે સંબોધન કરી રહ્યા છે.
Already been notified. So on 12/9/2019, the e-assessment scheme has already been notified, and the main features of it are something which I would want you to please listen to with intent. Removal of existing human interface in the assessment procedure will be the first feature. Total removal of human interface. Assessment to be handled by specific functional units on the basis of automated allocation system. The allocation will happen completely automated by the big data management team, so there is no human discretion element into that. Assessment unit will also be anonymous. All communication to be made exclusively in the electronic mode only, and no personal appearance of any SSA at all. So with this major one step forward, we feel any element of discretion leading to harassment will all be removed, and we will give good attention to its effective implementation. This was something which was already announced, the document identification number. The particular point which was, the order was issued as of 14th August, but with 1 month of implementation we are able to say that this is really taking off, in that all notices, summons and orders, communication to be issued only through the system. So there is no one-to-one personally handing out a kind of notice. It will be through the system generated with a particular document identification number. All documents to have unique DIN. Validation of documents issued can be done on e-filing portal only. Documents without DIN can be treated as non-est, meaning in law it won't hold any good. This was announced, much was spoken about it. I'm not saying this is new, but I'm definitely saying post the notification in August, we have seen a month full of this happening. There's already a lot of people who are receiving this, and there is a certain element of recognizing discretion will now be out. Then the nomenclature which was given, I do not know from where, but Sabka Vishwas, the compounding of all past offences, which was partly announced in the budget. The circular has been issued as of 9th of September. What does this imply? It implies that all compounding application can be filed up to 31st December 2019, which were not filed within prescribed time schedule earlier. So anyone who wishes to have their application given can still give it till December, and there is a clear formatted tick box method of clearing all the past offences and settling for a pre-decided levels of penalty. Again, no discretion here. This will reduce the existing pendency of prosecution cases before the courts. So this settlement will remove the need for people to go to the courts to seek redressal. Follow-up action again on prosecution easing measures. Again, a circular has been issued on the 9th of September, and this will have these following features. Smaller taxpayers with minor procedural defaults will not be prosecuted. We had mentioned this, but the notification and the circular has come out on the 9th of September. Prosecution to be launched only in deserving cases and to be commensurate to the degree of offence. So this fear of everybody is being prosecuted, criminal action is being taken, is now completely removed where it is possible, particularly for small taxpayer. Procedurally, small errors, technical errors will now be seen as small offences which need not go through the route of prosecution. For defaults below 25 lakhs, prosecution shall be sanctioned only with the prior approval of a collegium of 2 CCIT or DGIT rank officers. So it's not going to be automatically somebody decides to take action, he takes action. Now the collegium will have to give an approval. It will consist of 2 people, top level officials. Now I go to the 2 main focus area of today, the exports, boosting of exports, and measures that we want to take in order to boost exports. This might need a bit of narration, but steps which have been taken so far so that you understand the background with which the newer steps which are coming, so that the whole measures that have been taken this far will become far more effective. You see that the interest equalization scheme had existed from 2015, and some kind of an interest equalization to the level of 3% to exporters, and particularly for about 416 lines and for all the MSMEs were given, and this had continued from 2015. Then the IES rate, interest equalization scheme rate was increased to 5% for MSME exporters with effect from 18th November 18, and merchant exporters were also covered under the scheme with effect from 2nd February this year 2019. So these are the steps which had already been taken up. Then you also understand the ease of doing business ranking were changed, we improved on it. Trade infrastructure for the export scheme, the TAI scheme, were also being very clearly followed. Agricultural export policy was announced, enabling products which come from agriculture also to find an export market. Then transport and marketing assistance which was given was also taken up from 5th of March. Schemes for the rebate, which is the ROSCTL, had obtained cabinet approval for the garments and particular segments within the textiles. These were the broad background of actions which had been taken till now in the last 2 years, ending till February of 19. But now what we want to do is, I will probably be putting the new measures in about 6 silos which all relate to exports. So under measures for boosting exports, I am coming up with 6 different silos. The first one is the scheme for remission of duties on taxes on export products will replace MEIS. Now, I'd like to draw your attention that the name alone has not changed. It is not ROSCTL, it is not ROSL, it is remission of duties, RODTEP, remission of duties or taxes on export products. This is a new scheme which is coming, and it shall completely replace MEIS. Completely replace MEIS, not just for textiles, but for all goods and services for which the goods particularly for which the coverage was given both by the Textile Ministry and the Commerce Ministry. So this one will replace all MES. Existing dispensation in textiles of MEIS and plus the old ROSL will continue up to December 31st, 2019. I wish this particular line is made absolutely clear. The existing dispensation in textiles, which is MEIS plus old ROSL, will continue up to December 31st, 2019. This is so because a lot of exporters probably have taken orders and they will have to be given a lead time, so we are giving this lead time. However, it equally means that post 31st December 2019, no MEIS will continue. It will only be remission of duties or taxes on export product, and that will completely replace all MEIS from 1st January 2020. So MEIS, I repeat, MEIS, particularly in the textile dispensation, MEIS plus old ROSL will continue only up to 31st December 2019. Now, textiles and all other sectors which currently enjoy incentives up to 2% over MEIS, which is already existing MEIS, over that you had 2%, will transit into RODTEP from January 1st, 2020. In effect, this new one, the RODTEP, will more than adequately incentivize exporters than the existing schemes all put together. So if we are wondering what this new scheme will do, will it be more or will it be less? Here am I making a clear statement that in effect the RODTEP, the new scheme which comes into effect from 1st January 2020 for textiles and for all other commerce related products, will more than adequately incentivize exporters than the existing schemes all put together. Revenue foregone projected is up to 50,000 crores. So that is the number which I want you to look at. Approximately, we are saying up to 50,000 crores will be growing through this new RODTEP. So that's my first silo for promotion of exports, particularly for those which are going through from textiles and commerce. Very clearly, labor-intensive sectors will get priority. The next silo in boosting exports, the measures that I want to mention here are fully electronic refund module for quick and automated refund of ITC, that is the input tax credits, nearing completion and will be implemented by the end of this month itself. So by September 2019, the fully electronic refund mechanism for the GST ITC refunds will be in place. This is expected to monitor and also to speed up all ITC refunds. So there shouldn't be lockup of funds, disturbing the cash flow for all the small and medium exporters, and therefore refunds on your input tax should be automated and speedy. The third silo in the measures to boost exports is about export finance. This is very important, and I understand post the Board of Trade meeting, the DGFT is here, post the Board of Trade meeting which was held a day or two ago, an indication has been given that this is under consideration. I'm glad to announce, and I thank the Commerce Ministry for having put in a lot of effort to get this through. The Export Credit Guarantee Corporation, the ECGC, will expand the scope of ECIS and will offer higher insurance cover. Here I would want to just make sure that some of the numbers can be understood. Higher insurance cover to banks lending working capital for exports. Premium incidence for MSME will be moderated suitably, which is when MSME pay their premium towards guarantee that they receive from the ECGC, the premium that they pay will now be far lesser than what they had paid earlier. It is expected that the initiative will cost about 1,700 crores per annum for the government, but that will be the kind of support we are extending for the ECGC to offer that kind of guarantee for exporters. At the moment, for US dollar-based lending, whatever the prevailing rate be, this might come down by about 4% is our calculation, but I'm giving you a rough picture. And for the rupee, it will be coming down by about 8%. So that is the kind of difference it will make because of this facility that we are extending through the ECGC, and therefore the burden on exporters, particularly when they borrow and take credit and do their business, the burden shall come down. The credit insurance scheme, export credit insurance scheme, will benefit because of this extension of 1,700 crore per annum from the government for the promotion of credit guarantee by the ECGC. So this will enable reduction in the overall cost of export credit, including interest rates, especially to the MSMEs. The next silo is on the priority sector lending norms for export credit. These have been examined and enabling guidelines are under consideration with the RBI. We have had extensive discussion with the Reserve Bank of India on this, and they are on board. I am sure sooner they will also be able to release the necessary notification for this. This will release an additional 36,000 crores to up to 68,000 crores as export credit under priority sector. because banks use this in their basket of lending portfolios. When the priority sector lending category comes with this additional infusion, priority sector lending for export credit will increase, and this will give greater impetus for export sector. Then the next silo under measures to boost exports is the data on export finance is regularly published by the RBI. However, now export finance will be actively monitored by an interministerial working group.
તો નિર્મલા સીતારમણે પ્રેસ કોન્ફરન્સ કરીને અર્થતંત્રને લઈને જે પગલાં ભરવામાં આવશે અને જે પ્રયત્નો કરવામાં આવી રહ્યા છે તેને લઈને વાત કહી અને સાથે જ કહ્યું કે અર્થતંત્રને સાચવવા માટે પ્રયાસ કરવામાં આવી રહ્યા છે. આયાત અને રિયલ એસ્ટેટ માટે સારા પગલાં પણ લેવામાં આવી રહ્યા છે, જેનું જે પરિણામ છે તે થોડાક જ સમયમાં જોવા મળશે.